feel so much better when I do something bad.
He-Man, I have the power! Now, unfortunately, He-Man is going to be a champion pass, kind of like Xena champion in the game.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey guys, Breakdown Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Man, I have so much content, so many videos in store for you guys, but we had to talk about He-Man in today's video, a full playtest on He-Man. I'll share all my opinions on He-Man, the Champion Pass, and more. We're also getting Skeletor in the game in case you missed my previous video earlier this morning, which I am still a bit sleepy from waking up at 4 a.m. to upload that one. I give the details on Skeletor. Suffice it to say, Skeletor is a pretty good epic, I mean legendary champion. He's a legendary that can help certainly some new players out there. I love Skeletor so much that it's a shame that he doesn't look to be that good, to be honest with you guys, but he'll be a great vault guard. I promise you, a great vault guard for your vaults for a lot of mid to end game players out there. Who knows, might find some utility with a petrification or something, but I'm not holding my breath. But today we have He-Man. I want to give a disclaimer right out the gate here, guys. The Champion Pass. The Champion Pass. It is an absolute shame and a travesty that they did it again. It's Xena 2.0 here, right? And I realize the hypocrisy because I'm sitting here with obviously He-Man on my account. Otherwise, how would I do the guide here? I asked you guys in the last video, the Xena video, if you want me to do these and just show you what the champion has, that way you can decide for yourselves. And the vast majority of you guys said yes. However, I have to give a disclaimer. I have to. You are you're spending either $40 or $60 to get to level 25 to get your hands on pixels that you cannot recoup any value from, you know? So like, disclaimer, it's stupid. You're paying for entertainment, right? You're just paying for entertainment. There's no value here. I would not recommend it. Also, He-Man, for those of you who will not be buying He-Man, but you're just curious or you came here to make fun of me for buying him, which guilty as charged, they give him a 3 in hellhades.com. He's, to me, we're going to see him in a few different areas. Hydra, the arena, of course, just some damage checks in Phantom Shogun Grove, as well as in Minnow. But a 3 out of 5 is not good. I think they give Xena a 4 or a 4.5. So not very good grades there out the gate. So the good news, silver lining here, and I might be grasping at straws, but I'm going to be real with you guys. At the very least, you do get the free track, right? And I think the juiciest thing here is going to be you get the avatar. Okay. Who wants the avatar if you don't have the champion, though? How about a Skeletor avatar in there? Or is the Skeletor avatar part of the thing? Well, whatever. You get the speed glyphs. Those speed glyphs, you know, that's free. At least that's free. You're still going to do the challenges and stuff, but at least there's a free track for players out there who will not be purchasing this He-Man, right? Final words on the Champion Pass. The biggest travesty of the whole thing to me is it's such a cool freaking IP. I shared this earlier, but I'm going to share it again, right? And I'll probably roll the damn intro again because I really enjoyed it. But the thing is I'm old, right? I'm old. And I remember Saturday mornings, or actually most mornings, just running into the living room, and we had this little stupid small TV with antennas, right? We didn't have cable or anything like that. This is way back in the day, boys and girls, and I would play with my little He-Man action figures, and I would watch He-Man, Little Ash, and I looked forward to it so much, and then I would just play action figures all day, every day. I felt like I was like, not a neglected child, but I would just kind of play and make believe with my G.I. Joe guys and my He-Man, my Thundercats before that, right? That was my jam growing up. So this definitely speaks to me. It's a gotcha game, and damn it, they've gotcha on me. All right, so He-Man, we talked about his kit in the previous video, but really quickly, his speed in arena battles by 28%. He's an arena champion. I really think he's mainly arena, which is why I would say the biggest knock on He-Man is probably going to be his versatility. But my experiences, and you guys will see, is that he actually smacks in the arena. Attacks one enemy, an extra hit on enemies from the Corrupted, so a 2-time hitter on Corrupted Alliance. Also fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. Fills their turn meter by an additional 2% for each buff on He-Man. It scales on attack and HP. I'll show you the multipliers in just 1 second. Luminous Cleave, 4-turn cooldown, when booked. Attacks one enemy. Before attacking, he brings his own increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. He's ignoring Stoneskin. Okay, if this attack kills an enemy, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. So it's a pretty good opening move in the arena. If you kill somebody, you get a big turn meter boost on everybody as well. Ignoring Stoneskin, add him to the category of Georgid, of an Allele. He's more towards Georgid than Allele, which is good news in terms of the damage that he can deal. But I wouldn't say he's as, from my limited experience, as hard-hitting as a Georgid, right? Attacks all enemies, and I have the power 3-turn cooldown. AoE attack, damage increase by 10% for each buff placed on this champion before this skill is used. Stacks up to 500%, resets after the skill is used. So buffs that happen between that skill, they add up for a damage increase of 10% per buff, okay? On the passive, Master of the Universe, increases champion's attack and HP by 5%. For each buff placed on this champion, up to 50%. Plays a strengthened buff on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each round. Also plays a strengthen on this champion for 2 turns whenever an enemy's HP drops below 50% after this champion's attack. And he's immune to petrification debuffs, so basically Mithrala and Skeletor out there in our bias, right? Okay, speed in arena battles, base stats, nothing to write home about. 1465 on the attack, meh. HP, 16, almost 17K. I want to show you guys really quickly the build and the multipliers. So the multipliers on He-Man, area rankings on hellhades.com. This is early too, to be fair for them. I mean, they got this up there super fast, so shout out to all the guys at hellhades.com, the best website in the biz. They give Clan Boss, Hydra 3.5, Clan Boss 3.5, Dragon 4 out of 5, Hard Mode not much anywhere, Arena 4.5 out of 5. Honestly, from my limited, this is day one. I'll do an updated guide later on him on the Raid Shadow Legends Champions Guide YouTube channel. But he's also like a fairly easy champion to build. We want a lot of damage. For the most part, doesn't need any accuracy in his kit. He has a 3 attack multiplier plus a 0.12 HP. That's a strong overall grading. He has a godlike 5.5 multiplier plus a 0.15 again on the HP. On the A2, that's that single target attack that ignores Stoneskin. That's a pretty big multiplier. On the I have the power, it's a 3.5 on an AoE plus 0.2 HP. That's a godlike damage rating. That 2 HP is really good. If we compare that to an HP, AoE, nuker, like an Eric's, for example. So this is Eric's A1. It's a 0.22 HP. So the multiplier on the AoE on the A1 of Eric's, who's a really good HP-based nuker, is the same as the bonus HP damage as He-Man, or very close to. Now, granted, He-Man's base HP is a lot lower than Eric's base HP, which is 23K. So it's kind of apples to oranges, but just to give you a sense of the multiplier, let's take a quick look at the build. It still throws me off that he has the only champion in the game that has the Mattel copyright at the bottom of his champion page. So shout out to Mattel, I guess. All right, there is Prince Adam right there. Man, I would like to see a little bit of more He-Man characters, but maybe I'm biased. Who would you want the most? Maybe Battle Cat, Man-at-Arms, Sorceress, Prince Adam, Teela. I'm surprised I didn't add Teela or Orko. I think if I had to choose, I would choose Orko. Orko would be my guy to be Ram Man, Lizard Man. They have a whole faction. It's like they planned all of Raid Shadow Legends here. Manny Faces. I forget about that dude. Anyway, a lot of He-Man characters to consider. I have him in Stoneskin and Savage gear, guys. Savage and Stoneskin. Of course, you could go with Merciless. You could go with just Savage. You could go with Savage and Cruel to ignore more defense. The choice is yours. The power is yours. I have the power. I'm sorry, guys. But let's get into the stats here. Again, I think the Stoneskin in Savage, it's the way to go if you can get the double set on him, right? Give him that protection with Stoneskin and that ignored defense on Savage. Otherwise, I would probably consider just Savage gear and Cruel. That'd be my second choice on this champion. Stat priors are obviously going to be attack, and then crit rate, crit damage, and then, you know, basically a little bit of HP, as much as we can get on him. Total stats that we have in today's video is 51k on the HP. We have 5,800 on the attack. Obviously, no blessings yet, no empowerment on He-Man. I have 247 on the speed, 100 crit rate, 224 crit damage. Again, stat priorities are going to be attack, crit rate, HP, crit damage on He-Man. All right, what do we have on him for gear? We have defense on the banner, not ideal, but I had a quad roll of speed, and I was very slow before this banner, so sped him up a little bit. Ideally, we'd have HP flat stat. I would go flat stat HP on accessories, other than the amulet. So I went defense because I wanted the stone skin. Otherwise, I would go crit damage. I didn't have any crit damage available. And I went HP flat stat on the ring. Again, I would go HP flat stat on the ring, and then I'd go attack percentage on the chest. So attack percentage with attack percentage. Obviously, percentage scales up probably a little bit better than his HP at 1468. We have attack and attack on the boots. Speed is totally fine on the boots as well, especially if you don't have enough speed on him. We have crit damage with a little bit of crit rate there. I'm exactly at 100% on the crit rate, so I had to really look for the perfect gear pieces to put on him here in this build. Again, we're looking for some speed, some crit rate, some attack, and HP on the other stats. For blessing, I don't have one yet again, but I think once I do, I'll probably end up going with Crushing Rend. It depends on the stars. Crushing Rend at 6, Cruelty maybe up to 4. Heck, if you wanted to use him a bit more in PvE, excuse me, you go with Brimstone, I suppose. So for Masteries, guys, we go with a very typical arena build here. I'm sure a lot of people would recommend going defense and offense, which is totally fine as well. I really wanted to snag that lasting gift. Keep in mind, he's bringing that strengthen every time he brings someone less than 50% HP off that passive. He's bringing strengthen for 2 turns at the start of each round as well. And what put me over the top on support over defense is, well, 2 things. Number 1 is he brings his own increased attack as well, which can be very handy. If you have him on a team without an increased attack buffer, well, he can be self-sufficient, and I would love that lasting gifts proc to extend that duration. Moreover, I really wanted to pick up an extra 810 HP because of the HP damage scaling. A little bit more survivability never hurts as well, so I went with support tree that way. On the offense, we went down with Ruthless Ambush. I like Ruthless Ambush on an Ignore Stone Skin champion. Get that first hit, make it meaningful there. Unfortunately, not very good against Ultimate Death Knight because of the affinities, which is, you know, the most challenging single target Stone Skin that we'll encounter and the most popular. We go down, we pick up Helm Smasher as a tier 6 option. His A1, I've noticed it can kind of smack there, so I did pick up Methodical along the way as well. So that's the build, guys. I love it. All right, let's do a quick little damage check. I just want to bring him into Phantom Shogun Grove. I just slotted him in with my main team here. I just want to compare him to like a Ninja and a Newt and see what kind of damage you can put out here, okay? So He-Man on the far left, and I'm covering him up right at the beginning of the video. There we go. So Blessed Bash comes in. You can see damage capped at 294, and you can see 249k. 249,000 is not bad at all. Definitely a hard hit. Let's see what he goes in for his next ability. 288k. So we can get to max damage, or very close to, pretty easily. He can smack. He can smack even in PvE content. I said at the top of the video that I see him as more of a PvP champion. I'm talking about the end game. Certainly, you know, if you have this dude in your mid game or early game, first off, well, congrats on your purchase. I hate the paywall. A champion that I love so much behind a paywall really freaking bothers me. Really bothers me. I said in the last video too, man, they could have made him a fusion. They could have made him a stupid Deck of Fate, a limited edition, whatever the heck. A million frustrating ways they could have added him to the game, but to make him exclusive for just pay, and that's the only way. Oh, it's annoying, man. It's annoying. All right, but you saw his damage, like, pretty good, I would say. I do want to show you just in a random dungeon. Of course, you could run him as a DPS pretty much anywhere, right? Let's run him in Minnow solo. Just see what he can do on solo. Are they ever going to add Minnow levels? Probably not. All right, so he goes in there. You can see those AoEs. I mean, honestly, when I first saw his base stats, I was like, dude, it's not going to be a ton of damage, man. Those base stats are very, very weak. His multipliers are going to have to be super hefty. And they are. The multipliers definitely make up, and adding that HP doesn't seem like a lot, but it does give him that extra oomph that he needs. And keep in mind, similar in some ways to kind of a Turvold, he's ramping up, right? He's ramping up for all those buffs that he gets. Definitely keep that in mind at all times. You want him around a team with a bunch of buffers, right? And on He-Man. All right, guys, so I climbed up to Platinum really quick to test him out inside the arena. Let's see how we can do here. Let's see how much damage we're looking at here on his abilities. Start out against a nice squishy team. They got a Rhonda, they got a Sunwoo, they got an Arbiter, and a Armons, excuse me. All right, we're gonna go ahead and run a Lydia on the team. We're gonna go ahead and give him buffs from Shuzen, right? So give him that turn, give him buffs as well, so we can get some maximum damage here. So let's go in with the A3. Let's slow it down. You can see the animation, and you can see the damage here. So out the gate, we're looking at 350,000 freaking damage. Yeah, that was a lot of damage. That was quite insane. But keep in mind, it was a very, very squishy team. Let's see how he goes. Let's keep ramping up the difficulty here as we go. Man, it is glacially slow, the speed in this game when you slow it down to 1x. You ever do that, like accidentally or whatever? Sometimes when you like download for the first time on a new device or a new computer or whatever, it's automatically in 1x and you're like, oh my god, this is insane. All right, hey, we have a Marichka with Stone Skin. Let's try out the A2 against Marichka with Stone Skin. Here we go. Boom, 97k. That's definitely not a Georgid number, but it's definitely not an allele number, right? In terms of ignore Stone Skin. Very anecdotal though, it's hard to read like too much into it. All right, can we still win this one? Let's see. Okay, here we go. I have the power A3 ability. Boom. Not bad. Not bad. 120,000 damage or so. Let's go get this squad here. I would say overall, it's hard to grade a champion out of 5. What would you guys, based on what I've shown you so far, or if you're watching in the future, if you have him, what would you grade him? I think he could get some endgame usage for sure. 250,000 damage on the AoE against squishy team again though. Let's go against a little bit of a tankier team here. Well, no. Let me give me something. Okay. This is a little bit more like it here. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Hopefully we go first. He could fit in a go second team as well because of the buff escalation, right? Okay, so we have Stone Skin everywhere, literally. And Armons will wreck us. So let's try to take out Armons with that A2. This should be easy. Boom. 135k. Okay. Let's go in and try to decrease duration here. Marius scares the hell out of me. And it looks like I'm going to be toast. And indeed I am. All right, guys. Found another stacked team here. So let's see how we do. Again, I feel like this team obviously works with him. Like, great, but when you start going against the really, really tough teams here, you're going to be running into, let's see, can we wipe all 3 here? All right, let's go. Obviously, they'll be revived by Marichka, but hopefully that turn meter fill will be enough. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I have the power. They're all gone easily. Oh, I forgot I had Lydia on the same damn team. What a moron. All right, well, hey, man. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of freaking damage, right? And wait, Galathier, Galish, did he not? He switched forms thanks to the AI there, or the team setup rather, whatever. But hey, that worked out for us. Let's check out his A1 real quick here, guys. A1, cross affinity. Okay, not bad, not bad. Against Star Sage for sure. So guys, overall, I mean, he just made mincemeat out of those, out of Siphi. I mean, they're no slouches. Siphi, Lazarius, and Marichka there. Let's try them out in Hydra Clan Boss. All right, guys, let's go brutal difficulty here. And this is the team that I have set up. I have an Akemptum, I have a He-Man, Ugo, Estrid, a Molly, and an Inquisitor Shamil. I'm gonna run it all auto, but I do want to chest, actually, almost all auto, right? I'm not gonna do the entire run. I just want to kind of do a DPS check on He-Man. So as you guys can see, I have my Estrid in protection, considering I already have a Chemtum on the team to bring my my Hex. All right, let's go ahead and go with the A3 ability, right? So I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna go a quick DPS check. Make sure you, Head of Wrath and Head of Decay. Let's see, especially those heads, weak affinity, what we're doing here. 210, 172,000 damage. Not bad. Certainly not bad, but it's not like... It's no Thor. I don't think he's going to be as good as Thor in areas like this. He does have escalation, though. Keep that in mind. But in the arena, certainly outshines, right? What do you guys think? It's certainly easy. This is the good thing about He-Man is not like I don't think he's so good that it's going to be like if you spend the money for He-Man, that you have this massive unfair cheat code that no one else in the game will ever have. But I think he's good enough to where, like, people who do make that decision, idiots like yours truly, I don't think we'll be regretting having He-Man for the IP, but I do think he delivers certainly, you know, some serious damage, especially as we saw in the arena, some other areas as well. Can this team even stay alive? I do have a Reviver and Molly Tankard, though. I want to check out his A1. Obviously, he's provoked. Let's see what he can do here. Okay, so A1, 245,000 damage. You're never going to get a second hit on that because it's only against the Corrupted Alliance. Obviously, these are Hydra heads. The Hydra changes also went into to play today. The small adjustment there. I don't know. I'm still kind of bummed out about the Hydra changes personally, just everything, but I don't want to rebeat that dead horse here on the video. Let's complain about one thing a day. What do you say, guys? So I'm waiting for his A3 one more time on He-Man. And there it is. It's not bad. It's not bad damage. But I don't see it as being super elite. Now, if I had to pick apart this team, though, I mean, we have Estrid, but we're kind of lacking a lot of buffers, right? Ideally, as I said before, ooh, that wasn't bad. His Luminous Charge is not bad at all. But ideally, like we said before, we really want more buffers on this team, right? So what I'm going to do is, you saw his damage check. I'm actually just going to end the battle, see how much damage he did, and then I want to try again. So we had 2 point... I mean, he's getting... Kempton was the... But even Inquisitor Shamil is out-damaging him here. I want to go ahead and do... Molly, you naked? Are you naked, Molly? Golly. I just want to throw in, just for the heck of it, who can I get out? A Kempton. And I want to put in, like... Oh, I can't use... How about like a Duchess or something? Just basically somebody with buffs, right? Because buffs and buff extenders naturally should pair very well with him. So I just want to see how much extra damage we can do here. When we have the buffs on him, right? Okay. Estrid's bringing the weaken. Ugo's bringing the decreased defense. Obviously, provoke on Molly. All right, so now we have a few more buffs. Let's try it now. So again, keep your eyes on those same heads. 250, 168. So definitely more damage, right? Didn't like blow me away, but definitely more. And then that passive will ramp up as well. So I'll let this go for another 10 turns. We'll show the damage. This is my favorite build either way on He-Man. I guess for Hydra Clan Boss, probably just want to go Merciless if you have it. Instead, get that Ignore defense, get the 6-piece Merciless on him. And then if you can stick it in there, maybe get a little bit of it doesn't need accuracy, which is really nice. And go with some Cruel gear or something like that, right? Just single piece gear sets, maybe one Slayer piece if you need the extra crit rate, something like that. You could kind of mix and match, but let's see what he can do. I want to check out that, oh man, I want to check out that A2 again one more time. Doesn't it feel like it's going super slow again? It's on 2, okay, I have the power, but this time he wasn't very, didn't have a lot of buffs on him. But I can picture a He-Man on a team with a lot of buffs, buff extenders, maybe even a couple 9-piece protections, a couple 9-piece ferals, or maybe one. I'm talking like the most end game. I can see perhaps him dishing out some pretty decent damage under one of those circumstances. But overall, guys, what do you think of He-Man? I think that he's a pretty good champion. Hell, Hades had him at a 3 out of 5. I'd probably put him at like a 4 out of 5, 3.5, 4 out of 5, a little bit higher. But it's hard to say for anybody except for like a completionist, or I just got to have them all, or whatever. I'm not telling you what to spend your money on, but hopefully this will also act as somewhat of a deterrent for some players out there who are like, should I? I think he's nice, but he's not a must-have and probably not worth the money for most players out there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.